So my view basically is that the president will come with a purpose. Let him meet that purpose first off the bat. I think he'll appeal to young people in that audience to be grown-ups, if you will, whatever phrase he uses, to get engaged with the healthcare system, take responsibility for their own health, even though they're young and healthy at this point. And I think he'll make a pitch like that. I think he'll have to deal with this NSA story that's out there today in the Post dealing with surveillance. Let him do that, because that's why he's coming to do this. And then get into questions that I want to get into, executive management, political dysfunction in this country, the sort of generic problems we talk about all the time on the program, and then get into some easier questions for him. For example, voter suppression efforts in 36 states by the Republicans, so he can bite into that. And then perhaps get into questions of peace and war and the moral use of, or immoral use of drones, and the attempt, really a solid attempt now to avert a war with Iran. And then we'll get into some fun stuff at some point here, if we have time. You know, it's what we're getting back to. We used to have a lot of money to do this kind of stuff, and we're doing it again because it's the president. But I got to give the credit to the president and his team. They called up a week or so ago and said they thought they would be able to do it and meet our request, which we made for weeks and months now. In fact, we've made it for years to get them on the program. But before a college audience, they wanted to do that, and I think it's going to be exciting to see the president in front of a young group that he knows he has to convince.
As we look at this Harvard poll that's just out, it recently shows that 54% of millennials now disapprove of the president's performance. So how much of this is trying to get them back under the tent to make them believe in the ACA, and knowing that this is about personal responsibility, as you point out, but also knowing that this is sending people into the private markets?
I don't want to get too high-toned about it, but, you know, in the Kennedy era, there was a sense of being called to duty and meet your personal responsibility to the country. And I don't know whether that's a big part of this or not, because obviously the role of self-interest is paramount. But I do think that you could ask a person, if you're on a motorcycle and you wipe out. I used to ride a motorbike or drive one. And if you wipe out on the highway, do you expect somebody to come by and get you picked up? Emergency people, first responders, get you to a hospital, clean sheets, clean operating table, you're on the gurney, the best doctors available taking care of you to save your life, and then get you into a bed and have really good nursing care and convalescence? Who's paying for all that? And what's your plan? Is your plan to say, put a sign on you, leave me alone, let me lie here like roadkill, or give me the best health care that this country has to offer? And if it is the second answer, which I believe it is the second answer for everyone, who's going to pay for it? And a responsible person will say, you know what? That's as reasonable as to ask me to have a driver's license. That's as reasonable as to ask me to take a driver's test and to drive the speed limit and to not be under influence of drugs or alcohol. Those are reasonable requests to make to a grown-up young person. And I think people have to be challenged that way.
We look forward to it tonight, part of the Hardball College Tour from American University. Chris Matthews, 7 p.m. Thank you, sir.
Thomas, thanks so much.